Ah ouais.
Moi, mon vidéo, je pense que tu l'as débranché.
A video camera, so when he's trying like to put it on YouTube.
Ouais, je vais rester.
Technical issues. He had an appointment. Sylvie is not here.
Well, yeah. Il m'a répondu un email. Yeah. You never know.
M'entendez-vous? Je parle à Jonathan tout de suite.
OK.
Technical issues.
Mais, ouais, on est loin de 6h30.
It's 6:30. Welcome to the public. Mr. Phil Robichaud is from the Regional Service Commission. Open the public audience, moved by Councillor Germaine Galland, seconded by Deputy Mayor. Thank you. It's the public audience for it's for two on the municipal website, and Jack is at 11 Point Duchesne Road. It's facing two streets. They are single family dwellings, and so the zoning right now is general commercial. And so this is just like Google Street of parking at the front, and there's a fence west street. It was a Kent hardware store, and in March 2022, Weiser Holding, Dan Robichaud, and it's a use that not allowed with the actual zoning. We do like the siding and also devices or boats like in the where a bylaw in Shediac, they did not allow the sales of vehicles anywhere in Shediac. A vehicle when it's secondary to a public garage. But we change like the uses allows in general commercial to allow second modification. We have once we add loud like in the at the south of the with the same zoning and it's bigger lots. And it's high impact commercial and like the sales of vehicles those zone because it's all like those properties on south of road 50. Okay. So wholesale like uses that with the impact like the neighboring property and to only allow like a thing that would be allowed is proposed not to allow this on the property. Storage, office and the sale, the boat sales, and it's more restricted. So I'll present like the recommendation, and after the presentation, the council can decide the bylaw like 50Z and 51Z. Mr. Robichaud. Question from the council members. The public is a public audience. Do you have any questions? We did not get any objections from the neighbors upper here. I would say probably in favor of this. Councillor Germaine Galland, seconded by Deputy Mayor Jean-Claude Bertin. 3-minute breaks, essentially.
On donc.
Meeting on March 27th, I would need, not for the opening, sorry, said only absent. There's one of the member, Mr. Cormier is available, but he's the, any council member who would like to declare conflict of interest. I need a motion to approve, adopt the agenda as Councilor O'Brien. All those in favor saying appointment on the minutes of the meeting held on February So we can adopt them like the two at the same time, it's allowed. Like, questions on the minutes, yes. Some item we came up, so this is the request like for soccer, like I don't know if we're in favor to adopt like the minutes. Signify by saying aye, against nay. It brings us to 7.1 correspondence. We received one request, a letter for a request for financial request. They're just on top of Saint Anne Road. The three individual, Councillor Jean-Mental, seconded by Councillor Emile O'Brien. And the two requests, all those in favor saying five, saying aye. Special committee. We have also my report, and so I've been we'll have a meeting with the council members over the next couple of weeks. It's a great work, like from all the team. We're trying to pick up the slack, to make up everything go forward. A very good collaboration, those vacant position. Essentially, as fast as we can. So thank you. Questions from the Kent Regional Service Commission, the plan 360. So you had the opportunity like to look at it. I don't know, Mr. I raised my hand. Oh, I apologize. It's for the future treasurer of our municipality. So we will have to conduct interviews, and we wish like still ongoing. Mr. Mayor, I thought like we gave direction like, so the position was posted. We applicant, so that's okay. So that's why we reposted like the position. No, you did report on the public audience was done at 6:30, just to tell you like there were two bylaws CM to allow like both sales. So all the requirements of the opportunity to read those bylaws if you the room. So questions on this part for the members. So 11.1 for the traffic. So it's to keep the control as is for intersection of Beauvoir Street panels and close to Rachel and Casey Street on Beauvoir. Leave also permanently if the results are efficient to slow down like the roundabout in Webster Street to capture like the two direction like an extended period, the 2020 seconded by or Mr. CEO. Like they should be on those he said the Wi-Fi not too fast. So that was submitted by the engineer consultant, shows like for the area in question. You can read it in English too.
For two-way stop controlled intersections. All-way stop that according to the town's traffic calming policy, a location must score traffic calming based on the town's policy. Town's administration does recognize that the reviewed bridge are currently related to Rue Rachel and Casey Avenue area by the town. At this location, as a pilot project, make decisions on permanent measure. The town administration recommends installing two radar signs that are currently owned by the town.
I know that's what we indicated in the report. So, well, just a comment and a question. Bravo for the administration. Like we had mentioned like to it looks good, but the sidewalk would it be? Thank you, Councillor Boudreau. Councillor Patricia Bouksavan, thank you, Ms. Moore. Yes. So we would need a sign. To me, it's important. It's a safety of our child. I don't know what's the crosswalk. For the crosswalk, we would need to have a sidewalk at the other side of the street. Analyze that until the fact. it wouldn't be this year. Vision, we wanted like to all kind of requests like throughout the municipality. And by looking at the municipalities, right now, like only see the possibility like to have many other requests like to use those guide the street because when we have them. So maybe one day, like as in for now, we will follow the guidelines. Recommendation of the administration until we have more information. Any other questions? If not, all those in favor of Court of Woodbridge and Justice Street, all those. And for the next item, so is it only like the written be recommended and that the funds be withdrawn from infrastructure and 300,000 from the reserve fund? Maybe we could give like a bit of description of a of this. That's one way of doing it. And I think in both cases there were some risk and the risk not to finish. We had to look at the option like to rebuild. Essentially, it would be to remove like the board system, drain, so we don't have like the water problem. The drain would be 2 or 3 inches around that would retain during the construction. We will look close. The proposals, are we committed to the amount of the because we hear what is the directive from below or above? You still put the effort. So the consultant had the time. It's a recent estimate. It's not something that's to find some solution. So the recommendation I have is when you prepare like maybe to do closer monitoring, so we don't. There would be an engineer. The tender would be like probably in the fall. Maybe like it will be late in the summer. So once we have a price, like they have to go bigger. So the comment I would like to make. Okay. So there might be another.
Apparently the slab is good, but we never mentioned all of the problem, the water problem. It would vote for the motion, but to look if it's I'm sure it would cost $600,000 to put a roof over that. It's just a comment I'm making, but I think we can approve this motion, Your Honor, Your Honor. The proposal would be to we might have a conversation with what are we speaking of here? You know, by voting, if this is are we obliged to accept? Has the option to reject it if it wishes. 5,000, we might accept a different idea. But if it's right to accept or refuse a bid, whatever its cost. If he has something to add, I'm not convinced that adding a roof really. There's been problems with that level. There's no drainage. That's the comment I'm throwing out there. I think the initial intention of that project, which was to have a hard time believing that just the simple fact of adding a roof would settle all the other. Yes, I do indeed. I'm in agreed entirely. I'm not really sure that we'd be good. Cormier, I see your hand on the screen. Thank you, Thank you, Your Worship. Intention of that surface was to be 3 seasons, not 4 seasons. But the former councillors around the table, Your Worship, I'm not saying I'm against going forward with this plan, but I think we have to solve. I would like to have some sort of legal advice to bring the court. Well, that's one thing. From our solicitor. In so doing, project, and we seem to be turning the page on this money that we're really owed. It's our role. I would really hope that before. Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you, Councillor Cormier. The decision to it's a decision on its own front because it does involve, but this recommendation is to maybe there have been different administration anyway. It spoke of, but the version of the document that we have in our possession spoke door surface. It will depend on the cooperation of Mother Nature. Some days you think it's winter, some days you think it's the start of winter. Well, unless there's torrential rain, Councillor Roland. Yeah, I was on that committee, the programming committee. It was 4 seasons, but the winter element was a bit dormant. It was meant to be 4 seasons, but worship. And this, in the bid, will be have the same. The design will be redone in terms of. Sorry, I was just going to add just a flat slab. In the end, what we got, the changes of level for the slab, but really, my only worry here is we go to going to tender when we'll see these prices that we have. Can we get some assurance on that front? The design will then. So, no other questions based on the budget, my budget and the budget. But health, there's a good. We have the money there. And the motion passed. Inquiries by members of the council. Was there any, did there RCMP? We spoke that they came to see us to. They might have been backordered. The person in charge of the. We will check though. Something to direct to the executive director, maybe 5-6 years. Sold or not sold? You know the house I'm referring to. It's in November, December. The intention of the developer who bought it to Mr. Claude Maya in the office. There are work that will start from here to the spring. Hall. On this point, I saw a report. Different government. It was odd. For exactly the same amount, 964,000 for the project that we're looking to do. Can I get a bit of a summary in terms of where we're at, what source they avail themselves from, and see if we can benefit from it? And we're expecting to do some research, Mr. Executive Director, as well. These communities were very nearby. And last point, there are some conditions, studies. Is it moving forward, not moving forward? And the Pratt was able to determine that can now start. Well, it affects any type of construction. It's not the type of thing we can discuss at the council. With traffic, for example, he essentially got the permission to build, announce it. Well, that's exactly it. Well, I'll continue asking questions as I do for other. Council, where it's at, it also to discuss that, yes, but it's coming up soon. He's meant to meet. Is this start of April? The objective was the date, but at any rate, you're aware of that report and the protective services. What the directive of the owner of the Cadepeda discussions around the table for the protective services committee. Do you understand? So have that file go forward. We could meet before. In terms of the lanes, the unloading lanes. You understand what I mean? Not met to discuss that topic. They wanted the 4 new members of the council with the mandate to come back to the council on Councillor O'Brien. Yeah, I understand. I just inaudible. Thank you, Councillor Boudreau. His hand is up. Mr. Mayor, 2 questions. First question, in terms of adding potential. Unless my new executive director, you confirm that we're working on a letter? In his 3rd week of work, I certainly, today, I will add it to my list, and I will try to do this as quickly as Councillor Paul. At Cornwall. Study, a traffic study done before the project would be approved. There has to be a derogation committee. It has to be in agreement with you, Your Worship, but nothing will be done until it's done. All right. Councillor Jeunesse Cormier, thank you. Relating to, she was asking in her to ask to do a show / presentation. This staff answered. She did ask for support. It was referred to that area. So thank you very much. To speak again to the Cadet Pelerin file, where there's one of the things myself and the executive director have to discuss, so we don't have to bro. Just a clarification, Your Worship. Supposed to take place the 11th of April, but I see in Ascribe at 10 it's Easter Monday, so it'll be Tuesday the 11th. That's it. Next, introduction and reading of bylaws 14.1. It is so bylaw Z. I propose that you're on the wrong one. 50. They do first reading proposed by Councillor Joel. Adopted. Mr. Fying the zoning bylaw Z 44-50 Z through its title. Thank you. I almost called you Cormier. Point 2, first reading of 51Z. That the authorized and that is bylaw have a first reading through its title, and I so move adopt passed.